The dulcimer. Why is it so hot now?
Hasn't it always been hot?
It's making a comeback. Our guest today is a veteran music director and audio engineer who spent nearly 3 decades in music, shaping sound for film, ads, and global brands including Nike, Apple, Old Spice, Rivian, and more. As co-founder of Sneak Attack Music, he blends indie roots, producing bands, mastering records, running a label with a deep love for emerging artists and sonic storytelling. Rob, welcome.
Thanks.
Good to have you here. Thanks for being here. What was your aha moment that got you into, number one, sound? How did you get into being a musician, composer, and audio engineering? Like, what brought you into that? What was your aha moment as a kid or as a young creative person?
So I had an uncle who was a touring musician, and he was a drummer, and so I became interested in the drums really because of him, and that sort of led me in junior high to wanting to pick up that instrument first, and that was kind of my gateway drug. The relationship between visuals and music was always something that I was interested in. You know, I had friends growing up that were making home-baked videos, and you know, we always put music to them.
Was there ever a question like, well, at some point I have to stop this and get into a real job? Or were you just gutsy enough to just say, I'm gonna be a musician, I'm gonna make music and sound part of my career?
It was a leap of faith of sorts. I got into playing music more as like a hobby, something else to do. But as I got older and like kind of the rigors of playing sports year-round, I kind of got burnt out on that and started finding my footing a lot more in the music scene in Southern California, and really started getting more interested in that, started booking shows and being a part of kind of the bigger ecosystem. And for me, that was something that I just decided, okay, I'm gonna drop out of college and really focus on figuring out how to do music. And at that point, I had become really interested in recording and kind of the engineering side of things. And I've spent the last, 3 decades kind of chasing that in one way or another, and it's taken me to some really cool places.
What's one of your favorite projects that is a good example of how you felt like you were really able to bring your A game and client loved it?
We did a project for Jordan a couple of years ago that for us was like creatively stimulating in the sense that it was taking something that had already existed, which was a French version of the theme song from The Sound of Music, re-envisioning that as a kind of like 80s inspired boom bap hip hop remix. I think the music played a key role in kind of tying that all together and really kind of grounding the piece in that way. For us, it was the ability to, take that old thing, put a new spin on it, but there was a lot of visual cues for us to react to and to really underscore, embellish.
The angles on that were amazing. From what I remember, you had some really nice like worm's eye view stuff going on with cameras everywhere.
We worked with a French composer duo that, kind of lives in that realm already, and so for them and us, it was sort of a really cool marriage to be able to collaborate on that, and it worked out. We've won a handful of awards. It's one that we're definitely really proud of.
I want to go in the weeds a little bit more on the music. What goes through your head in terms of genre, meter, feel, vibe? What are some of the detailed things that people might not know that a composer has to think of?
The projects that tend to be the most successful are the ones where there's a conversation happening, an open conversation of all the people involved. So whether it's a director, an editor, creative team, producer, whoever is in a decision-making role, hopefully we're all able to kind of like talk about those things as sort of a vessel of finding, some of those key drivers.
They were best friends all along, they just didn't know it.
Everything is so subjective on a creative standpoint, and so I think we're best served to trust that everybody has good ideas and kind of work backwards from there. I think sometimes with creativity, guardrails are helpful. If you have a canvas that's completely blank and then you have a palette with no colors on it, sometimes you don't know where to go. So having something to start from can be, that sort of grounding motivation that you need, you know, to kind of point you in the right direction at least.
That's true. You got to have a little bit of a sandbox built, because otherwise you can wander off into any endless, do you want orchestra, do you want jazz, do you want a pop piece, do you want something hip hop? We're a kind of small, medium-sized agency. Sometimes having composed music can be a luxury. What's the benefit that most clients would be maybe surprised to know that they don't really think about, why having a custom piece of music is the way to go?
That's something coming from being a musician originally, and then also being somebody that's worked on the label side of things and still to this day works directly with artists on their projects. For me, like wanting to connect those dots and care for artists in that space and lift them up is always going to be something that I'm championing. Having the opportunity to elevate your brand or your concept or your film, whatever, with a piece of music that is inspiring or, you know, ear-catching, whatever, it just makes things better. You know, at the end of the day, we feel more connected to it.
Rob, thank you so much.
Yes, of
so
course.
good to have you here today.